Abundance. Abundance. Science is the study of the natural world. See what I'm saying? So why is we as neuromelanated people not studying, learning, and decoding all fields of science? The sun is separating two species on this planet, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. And with this society, with this government, with these elites, they have us classified as one human race, which is the biggest lie ever told. So are we the same species? And if we are, I need somebody to come explain to me genetically and biologically how we are the same species. There's too many people on the internet talking about organisms, different people. See what I'm saying? Under fictitious titles. But y'all not talking about what these organisms are made up of, what cells they're made up of. Because that would tell us everything about the organism. Your DNA literally makes up your psychology. The reason why you behave, think the way you do, all the patterns of your neurology is because of your biology. It's because of your chemistry. So we as a people, we have to dismantle this human species. We have to dismantle not just calling ourselves human, but calling ourselves African, calling ourselves any of these continental names. None of these continents exist. Borders, regions, countries, cities, towns, that doesn't exist. The universe don't know that. She only knows nature. She only knows different forms of melanin, which is allomelanin, trees, plants. See what I'm saying? Grasses. You live in a jungle and you think that you live in Boulevard, whatever. That's fake. So go ahead, Jimmy. Go ahead and share your thoughts and visions on the topic. Are we the same
Yeah,
species?
I think you're absolutely right. When you think about the control that's exercised by society, I think about a map. Like, a map has nothing to do with the world, but we're guided to go from point A to point B and use a map. A map isn't the world. The world is three-dimensional. Maps are two-dimensional. A map has nothing to do with the actual world we live in. Anybody who relies on a map is just really
You're cutting in and out.
an understanding of the world. As with direct, what does north, south, east, and west mean? Those are white terms, white ideas of like pointing us and quantifying what is not quantifiable. You can't use directions to get from point A to point B. You can't use a compass or coordinates to figure out where you are. That's completely ridiculous. It's like they come up with these ideas like airplanes. Airplanes are an illusion.
Okay, you're cutting in and out, and I hear you. You're trying to say a lot of things is an illusion, but the biggest illusion is what they classify as the human race. You see what I'm saying? Black, white, Asian, that doesn't exist. There's only a prokaryote and a eukaryote. You see what I'm saying? A prokaryotic species and a eukaryotic species. Neuromelanin and vitro, and then there's another species with vitrosynthetic eumelanin, vitrosynthetic pheomelanin, and vitrosynthetic neuromelanin. So go ahead and tell me, are we the same species? Jimmy, I sent you an invite.
Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead. Are we the same
Can you hear
species?
me now?
Yes.
No. Well, white people aren't really alive in any technical sense. They're not natural. I'm not natural. White beings aren't part of the natural world because they lack melanin. And melanin is the spiritual foundation of the universe. You know, the sun is powered by melanin. All the stars, the universe is powered by melanin. White people were created by evil scientists. So white people aren't even part of the natural world. So no, you and I are not the same species. We're not even on the same. You're a living being. You're a king and a queen. Black people are kings and queens, and they're the most spiritual, advanced entity in the universe. And
Something's going on with your mic. Um, Last time you was trying to speak as well, it was cutting in and out.
you should be able to hear me now. I mean, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
So I,
you just keep cutting in and out, so we can't really hear you that well, like
okay.
consistently. You'll have to
Okay. Well,
fix your mic.
it should be. Maybe try one more time. Okay, and then I'll get off. I mean, maybe I'm just in an area with bad cell service.
Now
But
you
no, I
good?
mean, white people are not, and black people are not the same species. White people aren't technically even alive. White people are things. They're not creatures. White people are not, spiritual beings. They're not human. I mean, black people are the kings and queens. They're the highest spiritual thing in the universe. That we're all life flows from, particularly black queens. People aren't even live. They're not even animals. They're not of this earth. They're artificial creations. So no, there's absolutely nothing in common between white people and black people, which is why white.
Okay, I got you. But what's up? What was it? What white people is not just white people. It's Asian people, Arab people, Dravidians. They all have vitrosynthetic pheomelanin, vitrosynthetic eumelanin, and vitrosynthetic neuromelanin, which is created by these scientists that you're talking about. And these scientists are reptilians, which have been depicted in different hieroglyphs and petroglyphs
You shouldn't
all
call.
over the world. Hold on for a
You should
second.
call.
Like on the
You
screen,
should.
it says no over talking. You feel what I'm saying? So I appreciate that because I let you speak even though you was cutting in and out.
You shouldn't.
Stop over talking him.
Exactly. So again, yeah, it was these are the people who created these species, and they're being closer and closer to revealment of these species right now. Trump is going to be the one who's going to reveal the reptilians. So it's not just white people that is a different species. Everybody outside of so-called black people is a different species than us because y'all obtain a different type of melanin. Every organism on the planet has melanin. There's allomelanin, pyomelanin, um, what's it called? Neuromelanin, uh, eumelanin, and pheomelanin. These are all natural melanins that exist on this planet. But gratitude for that. Um,
One last thing, though. You do a disservice by calling white people people. They're not people. Only people are black people. Everybody else is a thing, a creature, an unnatural being. Do not call white people people. Certainly do not call white children children. They're not. They're little demons. All white people are demons. So just call them demons. Don't call them people.
okay. Thank you for your suggestion, but I'm gonna talk how I'm gonna talk for my species. You see what I'm saying?
But
There,
you're doing.
I
You're
let my
creating.
people I let my people know that these people are eukaryotic cells. I let my people know that these are mixed animal hybrids. They're just a science experiment. They're not I'm not gonna put fear into my children and say, oh, these are demons or these are no. These are scientific this is a scientific experiment. You're above this. This is what I'm gonna tell my children. You see what I'm saying? I'm not gonna tell them to be on the same level as these people. But I'm the reason why I'm saying people is just because of the language that I'm using. So-called black people are not even supposed to be speaking any languages that we're speaking on this planet because it doesn't create audible friction within the pineal gland. It doesn't allow our pineal gland to spin at the highest vortex to create our reality.
Why are y'all telling him to let him talk and we can't even hear him? We're taking him off the panel because there's something wrong with his mic. He just said he's gonna come back. So how about whoever is saying that in the chat, how about you come up and tell us how you feel about the prompt? That's what's best. You see what I'm saying? It's best if you agree or disagree to come up and to share your piece and to not even worry about nobody else, right? Because we got to be able to articulate that we're not the same species. This is a YT man telling you that he's not the same as you, but none of our people can do that. So that's the problem, right?
Exactly.
That's the problem. YT people, they know that we're not the same species. They know about the eukaryotic cell. They can talk and hang in a conversation about evolution. We're the ones who can't.
They know they're living off the blood, sweat, and tears of our people.
And they will tell us that, and we're the ones who can't. But you want to hear him talk about how he's not natural and you can't articulate it. I'm not saying that to the person in the chat. I'm just saying that in general, like every single live we do. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got to get to the point to where we know it. Somebody that is genetically below all prokaryotic life on this planet shouldn't be able to tell us his origin, and we can't. Like, come on, y'all. One single sand, one speck of grass, one drop of water from the ocean belongs more on this planet than these people do. And we can't even articulate it.
And we're asking these people to repair something in our life.
So let's see. AB, go ahead. You're off the app. You can come back and go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and share your thoughts and visions on the topic. Are we the same species?
Hold on. I think I have to leave and come back for the controls. Yeah.
They keep leaving the app. Go ahead, Beansy, while he's off the app. You was trying to say something in the comments. Go ahead and share your thoughts and visions on the topic.
We've talked to Beansy before.
Yeah, we have. Are you guys like bacteria, or what's going on with the prokaryotic cells? Don't have a nuclei?
Yeah, we're made up of bacteria.
Are organisms around the planet not made up of cells? Are organisms around the planet not made up of cells?
I mean, you mentioned language.
Who's talking right now? Sorry, I don't know.
I'm asking you a question, the host. Are organisms not made up of cells on the planet?
Yeah, but prokaryotes and eukaryotes are different, right?
So why would, they're different. You're exactly right. So there's two different species on this planet. What makes up your cells, what makes up your body is eukaryotic cells, vitrosynthetic melanin. You know what I'm saying? What makes up my body is neuromelanin. You see what I'm saying? Prokaryotic cells.
Do you have a nuclei?
Functioning organism. All cells inside of my body unicellularly functions for my body. They all come from the same embryological origin, which is the totipotent stem cell within my mother's womb.
Do you have nuclei?
Fuck yeah.
Do I have nuclei? No, I have a nucleoid region. You have a nucleus, and you have a mitochondria and different organelles and different internal membranes from different species that cannot naturally reproduce with each other, which shows that you got here through synthetic biology. You got here through genetic splicing. You're not 100% of anything. You're percentages of animals and different unnatural fruits and vegetables and fungi. So explain that to me. How did these animals find each other attractive?
White people are made out of plastic.
Organism? I'm one at a time, y'all. So go ahead, Beansy, answer that question for me.
You don't have mitochondria? How do you get energy from your neuromelanin? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, neuromelanin is the brain of all my cells. But can you answer that question for me?
Why do I have lateral gene transfer and endosymbiosis? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead and explain symbiosis, because again, we don't see none of prokaryotes engulfing each other to become eukaryotes. We see genetic labs that y'all are doing, CRISPR-Cas9, Stitcher. Y'all are also performing what's it called, DNA sequencing in computers to create organisms. So again, go ahead and tell me how a pig, a dog, a cat, and a fruit fly all engulfed each other to become you.
Are you talking about
So
white people?
CRISPR is a gene editing technique. I'm not sure what we're using it for at this point to generate organisms.
Well, yeah, it's a gene editing technique, genetic engineering technique. How did 25,000 genes get within your chromosomes? And these genes don't have no correlation with each other. They can't reproduce with each other outside of your genetics. How did they get in there?
Wait, those genes have a lot of correlation with one another.
Oh, so a cow right now will find a gorilla attractive outside right now in nature, and they will procreate and make you. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, no. We're talking
But
about
you have those genes.
conserved domains
But
and
you have those
genes.
genes though.
Conserved domains, yeah, certainly there's conserved domains like the homeodomain genes. Yeah, those are the body plan genes.
All right, we're gonna get to the next guest.
Exactly.
Because we have other people that
That's what
want
I
to
thought.
speak. Go ahead, Valuation. Beansy, you know how we roll. You can stay up here. We just have to let other people talk, you know?
Nah, it's all good. You guys have a good day.
All right, yeah, of
You
course. You
keep
do that
running.
same shit every time, bro. Like, Beansy is an account we've been talking to literally for 2.5 years. We were doing it on Ether's page.
He can never
answer how haploids turn into diploids. So, of course, we would have to move on. Go ahead, Valuation.
What's poppin'? What we
Go
talking
ahead.
about? Are we the same species?
Yes, go ahead and answer that. What are your thoughts and visions on that? Your
All right,
thoughts and visions.
so I want to say yes and no. I want to say we are the same species energetically. Physically, no.
Explain that to us, how we're the same species energetically, but physically not, if the physical is made up of the energy. Go ahead and explain that.
Um, energy. If I can try to explain this, because I can only tell you this is how I feel. But energy in itself has no gender. It has no bias on sex or race. Therefore, it is made up of the same stuff as other energetic properties, basically. So, long story short, that basically whatever we use to operate the human body is the same energy, consciousness, and awareness that a white person, an Indian person, and a Spanish person uses to operate the same vessel. It's the same energy, but physiologically, black people, white people, especially Mexicans, Asians, we're different. We don't have the same genealogical makeup. And that's scientifically proven and scientifically shown. And that's why we can't go to a doctor and heal as a black melanated man, because all of their science and the healing modalities for people is based off a white person's makeup. It's not built off of the physical makeup of black, whites, or, you know what I'm saying, the separation, because we live in a Western society. But like I said, I think we are the same and we're different at the same time.
Okay, so the thing is, I got you. You said this is how you feel. So I know that this is not really like backed by science or truth, because you're telling me, you know, how you feel about it. So there's a thing that creates the body, which is the gap or the bridge between the physical and the so-called metaphysical, known as the morphogenic field. These people do not have a morphogenic field, right? So the way that
Who
your
is these
cells,
people?
all right,
You're
give
gonna let
me.
her. You're gonna let her finish talking, just like we
I
let
was
him
just
finish
curious,
talking.
who is these
Yeah,
people though?
and I'm curious too on why you're not reading the screen. Also, after it says, "Are we the same species?" It says, "No over talking."
You're gonna have to get off of the live, unfortunately, because you just showed us that you're driving and it's against their policy to be driving while on TikTok. So in about 5 minutes, they're gonna flag and restrict the live because of that. You'll have to request up, my brother. Like that's because that shit, like you can't do that on here. They're gonna place a live restriction on his thing. Give me a second, y'all. With the over talking, I'm not doing that shit today. Neither one of us are.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta give us respect. I'm actually still trying to explain my point. We didn't cut the brother off, so you gotta let us talk, all right? There is a morphogenetic field that actually brings
Can
the
a
body.
lion and a tiger have babies?
There is a morphogenic field that is responsible for bridging the gap between the so-called metaphysical or atoms which vibrate at a speed that eventually turn into cells. Everybody outside of so-called black people do not come into existence the same way. It's not just these people. There's unnatural microorganisms, unnatural plants, unnatural insects, animals. Across all taxonomies, there's something that is unnatural because they're creation of the eukaryotic cell. All life forms, no matter what it is, falls into two cellular categories, which are prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Eukaryotes do not come into existence the same way that prokaryotes do, right? So there's no way that these people can be the same as us across any dimension, whether physically, spiritually, none of that. Because spiritually, what y'all are talking about, the soul, they lack neuromelanin. They have in vitro synthetic eumelanin, in vitro synthetic neuromelanin, and pheomelanin. They don't have the 5 basic types of melanin that we see naturally exist throughout all organisms. Yep. All right, so I just wanted to clear that up.
I just wanted to say energy is made up of protons and electrons. You see what I'm saying? And these people are not made up of protons and electrons. What makes up their DNA, the chemistry that makes up their DNA, that makes up the sulfur dioxide, that makes up the ammonia, is calcium ionophores. See what I'm saying? Isolated particles. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're made up of. They're made of in test tubes, just like you can see in a chemistry lab where they pour it in bottles. That's their origin. They don't originate from no place in the universe. Our DNA is literally forged inside stars and travels throughout the entire cosmos free willingly.
Go ahead, Big Zup. Sup?
All right. Are you listening?
Yeah, are we the same species?
Can a lion and a tiger have natural babies in the wild? Yes or no?
Hold on, my brother. Are we the same species? Or is all life or all people considered to be the same species to you?
I'm asking you a question. Can a lion and a tiger?
You're not answering my question. You're asking me a question with a question. So just go ahead and give me your thoughts and vision.
No, my thoughts. Listen.
Answer the questions on the screen. Tell me your thoughts and visions.
I'm not saying that. I'm not standing with what you lot are doing. You got to break it down properly, because then what is you're giving misinformation, bruv.
So what am I? So go ahead and explain what I'm giving misinformation on, and tell us the truth.
What you're meant to be, what you're meant to be saying, is raw. These people come from a different planet. Yes.
Okay.
Explain that. Okay. You say these people come from a different planet, right? Explain me genetically, biologically, astrophysically how these people come from a different planet.
You're a 9 ether being. Anything that comes from planet Earth is a 9 ether being. Yeah? Which within your DNA sequence, within your hair, is you got the signature of 9. They don't have it.
That's cool. I got you with our people, but you just said these other people came from another planet. I want that question answered real quick. I need that answer real quick, because you said we're spreading misinformation. You made a statement out your mouth. Explain that. How did these people astrophysically, genetically, and biologically come from another planet?
You're on mute. You're on mute, so we can't hear you. Click your mute button.
What I'm trying to show you, is if you want to know the questions to certain answers, you have to look in the holy tablets. Yeah, get your information right, and then do it accurately, innit? But don't come on here and do it wrong, because when you do it wrong, you're gonna give these people more of a lead to say that you're doing it wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Can you tell me?
Listen, I can tell you, but
I'm good. Thank you. You see what I'm saying? You're not telling me shit.
So the people that are saying, oh, my bad. The people that are saying that these people come from another planet or that they come from underground, you got to understand all life forms break down to 2 cellular form types that come into existence one way or another, right? How can these people be from another planet when the same morphogenic field that constructed Earth is what constructed the universe. So if they don't align anywhere genetically, biologically, astrophysically, morphogenically with anything that's on Earth, how would they be connected to another planet when all planets share the same genetic information with a 0.2% uniqueness?
This is the only planet where eukaryotes are on.
Yeah, everything in the universe has again a morphic field that extends beyond the body, the celestial body, the ant's body, the bee's body.
Facts.
Everything communicates through vibration and sound and cymatics and energy. So energy, the coronal mass ejections that Earth is receiving from other stars, not even just the sun. You see what I'm saying? How, if all this information is being shared with different planets, with different stars, with different celestial bodies, asteroids, meteorites, all different types of life forms that we see in space, how could they be connected to another planet? All planets come into existence the same way. So why would we look at holy tablets when we can look at nature and what is reciprocal, what is cyclical and continuous, unless something unnatural takes place? And when this unnatural thing takes place, you can pinpoint it easy as fuck, because if it does not align from biogenetic processes, it is not natural, period.
Exactly. If you get acute body radiation on this planet, you're going to get acute body radiation on any planet that you think you will be on, because they again receive gamma radiation, electron energy, feminine high charged particles.
Facts. Go ahead, Ricky.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? What's going on?
All right, go ahead and share your thoughts and visions on the topic. Are we the same species? This is regarding life on the planet.
So, I believe that we are not the same species. And I believe that there's a lot of experimentation going on. So, the people that you may think may be a certain species of a person is not that at all. So, we're dealing with the bloodlines and RNA and DNA. And like y'all said, if it don't naturally, biologically match up, then of course it's gonna be like man-made. And that cross-reference with quote unquote humans as well.
Okay, I appreciate that, brother. I value you. You see what I'm saying? I appreciate you. I would just say go ahead and keep reading. There's more for you to see. There's more that you're seeing, that you know what I'm saying, that
No
you're
doubt.
seeing right now. So I appreciate that.
My brother in the comments or sister that's saying that they're from Nern, can you give me 5 facts about the atmosphere and the life that exists on Nern? Like the biological, like can you tell me some organisms that actually live on this planet? Can you tell me about the interstellar gases that fill up the atmosphere? Can you tell me about the planet itself, please?
The tectonic plates on that planet, tell us everything.
Can you tell me about the life? Because all plants on a planet is what makes a planet a planet. Exactly. So can you tell me something about any of the allomelanated taxonomical organisms that are on the planet? Because that's what I'd be talking about. If we can't, we really shouldn't be saying it to each other. That's what keeps us in the loop of ignorance. If you can, you know what I'm saying, explain it, but if you can't, that's very harmful. All right. Jameson, go ahead.
If you can, come up.
Hello. I was confused. Are we the same species, like as each other?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like are we all the same? I don't think so. No.
All right, go ahead and answer why.
Why? I think because we are like really. It's a really deep question, but I think because we all just have different abilities and we evolve at different times. So I don't
Hey,
know where y'all
Jameson,
getting
is
your
there any
religion
way we can
too.
get you to speak up? Yeah, can't really hear you
Yeah,
though,
one
bro.
sec.
Gratitude.
If we already talked to you and you're in the request right now and you couldn't explain to me how we're all the same species, why are you requesting that? If you already made a fool of yourself intellectually, what are you trying to prove now? Just go read more. Go sit with what we said.
Jameson, we can't hear you if you're talking. You might have to drop back down and request back up. We heard you the first time, it just wasn't loud. Like it just wasn't, and now we don't hear you at all.
Yeah, we don't hear you.
Yeah. If anybody disagrees or has any thoughts on are we all the same, are we the same species, feel free to request up. It's just that we want to hear people that actually have natural science. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what would make what you're saying true or not. When it's religion, religion is created and it was pushed on us by the same people that we're saying is not the same species as us. So it's counterproductive, counterintuitive to a conversation like this. Go ahead, Jameson. All right, we're gonna have to disconnect you and request back up. I think we'll hear it. We'll hear you after that. Somebody said there's different types of species, so it's impossible that we're all the same. What are the different species, or like are you talking about in nature? Someone said humans might have differences, but overall there's nothing that separates humans as species. What about the cells that we're composed of? Ace, Adilla?
Yeah, if there's differences, wouldn't there be micro differences in chemical substances that are inducers of the cell to create the cell for protein synthesis? Wouldn't that mean we're different species?
The sister said, where did this natural science come from? Nature. It's the science is the study of the natural world. That's all the branches of sciences are the study of the natural world. So when you're saying God, well, we're studying his so-called natural world. What's wrong with that? Except for when we see that come from so-called God. They came from genetic engineering and introgression. Why did God create a species that can't take the sun? Why did God create a species that has completely destroyed everything on this planet? Because in nature, we see three types of relationships that are either mutual, commensalistic, or parasitic. And these people, not even just with us, but throughout all of nature, serve to be having a parasitic or a parasitism symbiotic relationship with all of nature.
A virus.
A virus. That's why we say, let's actually look at what's happening on a biological level, right? What's happening on a cellular level, because all diseases that are on this planet come from the same people that y'all be trying to defend. So there would be no sickness for God to heal if he just had not created the sickness. Hello?
Sounds like God is playing you.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And God and Lord just means lizard king. I hope y'all know that too. Oh, praise the Lord. You're just saying praise the lizard king.
Literally. That's what that translates to. Go ahead,
Hello?
Jameson.
Can you hear me?
All right, go ahead and tell us how we're the same species.
I just don't think we are the same species because, well, there's so many layers to that you have to go back. But
all right, go ahead and tell us.
we're so different. I don't know too much biblically, but we're just all so very different.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Different, we act. What?
We don't have to tap into no theological talking points. We can stick directly with genetics, biology, and chemistry. Go ahead and
True.
explain.
Okay. Um. So it just makes sense if you believe in other species, um, then why wouldn't we be maybe different kinds of species, right? I mean, you look at some people think white people, some people think skin color, just skin color, is a very big difference in people, right? That's just an example. So I don't know. I think it's not crazy to think that some of us are different species or came from different times, and everything we've been taught is just wrong. Absolutely wrong. But that's all I have to say.
Well, you're right. The skin is the latest extension or the furthest extension of your brain. Essentially, the body is built around the brain, and the skin is telling us the type of DNA that you have. So it's like when people compare skin color, what they're not aware of is that there are 8 types of melanin, right? Melanin is not just one big thing. If it was, we would all phenotypically present the same, but we don't, and it's because of melanin. And the first thing that formulates in embryology, or excuse me, in embryogenesis is the brain. 16 clumps of cells, it begins to create the medulla, which is found in the brain. So your body is built around that. All of your IQ, the way you perceive the world, um, um, your genetics is received directly through the cerebral cortex by the mother. So whoever your mother is the all of the cells that you have in your body, Jameson, comes from your mother's ovum, your mother's egg cell, right? That she has. So I don't have the same mother as you. My mother is neuromelanated. So all the cells in my body stem from a different embryological origin than you. So that's why I say it's a lot deeper than skin, which the same people that you share genetics with, well, it, I'm just going to say it for the sake of the conversation. The same people you share genetics with are the same people that created race theory, that make you focus on skin when it's your DNA and your genetics and your biology that make up that skin.
Exactly.
It's about the biochemical composition, not the color of it, right? So people say, well, there are Dravidians that are darker than me. That's true, but they are dark of what? It's in vitro eumelanin, right? It's not neuromelanin, which is what is the difference between all so-called Black people across the globe and everyone else.
And I tan very easily, but yeah. So you're saying everything mostly comes from the mother?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, and that's crazy too because I look mostly like my dad. Everyone says, but I can see I have a lot of my mom's traits, but
Yeah, but all of your dad's genetics comes from his mother's. Oh, that's what that's what it's explaining with the so-called mtDNA with the eukaryotic cell, because prokaryotic cell don't have membranes or organelles. So we get all of it directly from the neuromelanin that our mother produces naturally.
Exactly, but the first eukaryotic woman to ever exist was created in a lab and through an ectowomb, what they call an ectowomb, through ectogenesis. You see what I'm saying? And they introgressed and hybridized genetics to create that organism.
Who, Eve?
For the YT women, like for everybody outside of us, that's their origin, not ours.
Yeah, for your origin.
Like white people or Caucasian?
Everybody
outside of so-called black people. This is y'all lab-made origins. Yes.
No, I have to write this down. Hold on. I don't think I ever heard about that one.
Yeah, somatic part. Let me know
In a
whenever.
petri dish?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to for the people in the chat that need it.
I got it.
Yeah, it's for everybody.
I know, like black people are the chosen ones, right?
No, it's not. It's nothing about a chosen one. It's about the ones that choose thyself. That goes back to religion, which is
true. Well, was Jesus black, or?
Okay. See now you're just starting to ask questions out the fly. You feel me?
I know he was. But I'm just saying for the chat.
The thing is, we're letting you know that we don't believe in theology. We don't care about the Bible. We don't care about the religion. We are past, present, and future. We are prokaryotic cells. And prokaryotic cells are ubiquitous to the universe. This earth is our home.
And that's not even in the Bible.
This is what I'm saying.
I know you mean.
Hey, I hear you, but this is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
This earth is our home.
Sorry.
All right, so I'm gonna just type some or just say some things out for anybody that has pen and paper and wants to switch to the note section for the origins of eukaryotic cells and how they have come into existence. You're gonna want to study the history and the build behind robotics, right? Behind genetic engineering, introgression. I'm gonna spell it for you. I'm gonna type it as I tell y'all in the chat.
Somatic nuclear transfer.
Somatic parthenogenesis.
These are all the ways they use to create synthetic life.
Yep, synthetic biology. Right? Then we have hybridization. And what you're going to see in the evolution documentaries or the evolutionary biology documentaries, they always start off with the origins of creation. They tell you religion makes no sense. Religion goes against all life on this planet. All right. So religion bars none in a conversation when it comes to religion. The story of Noah is telling you about genetic engineering and splicing. The rounding up of two animals to do what? Right? Follow me and I will make you fishers of men. Well, guess what they do for butterflies and fish and all these other organisms? They fish for them. They use a rod to actually fish for them. They use a biologist, I can't remember his name, but he uses a rod the same way that they use for fish to actually catch light because fireflies are bioluminescent.
Yeah.
All of these different stories that you're seeing in the Bible are allegorical for what took place on this planet. That's why the heaven and hell is your higher and your lower self. Jacob's ladder, you see what I'm saying? The 12 cranial nerves, the 12 disciples. What else? Genesis, which is talking about parthenogenesis. Let there be light is talking about the zinc spark. The void, the dark void is talking about the womb.
And when they're talking about they split the Red Sea, they're talking about the corpus callosum of your right hemisphere and the left hemisphere of your brain, and how it needs to be in hemisync for harmonic convergence. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's talking about. So it's talking about the anatomy of people with solar magnetic DNA. And who are the people with solar magnetic DNA? Who are neuromelanated people? Who have stardust? So this is what we need to be consistently studying every day is ourselves. If I have stardust DNA, then I need to study that so I can know how I function, so I can know how to move, so I can know what type of thoughts I need to be having for my people to expand my species.
Right. So it's just for us to go a little bit deeper. So I hope that you study those topics, watch documentaries on those topics, research scientists, research doctors that are under those topics. I'm on my backup page, but on my main page, which is Skywatcher, I already have a marine mammologist that's posted on there that's been that's been experimenting on dolphins for 35 years to try to get them to stop speaking audible friction and basically program them to speak English. The World Science Festival is always talking about the top geneticists, the top biologists, the top scientists in the world. They come on there, they interview them about their work, right? The 100 billion neuron theory was debunked because a scientist decided to turn brains into soup. She liquefied the brains and has been keeping them in a freezer so that she can actually freely count the amount of neurons, because the amount of neurons tells you how conscious the being actually is. And this is what Becoming Supernatural, written by Dr. Joe Dispenza, talking about the brain scans, the fact that they can measure the heart rate, the intensity of the heart through HRV, heart rate visibility machines. How do you think they got to this point? Because when I was live yesterday, a YT man came in there and said, can you show me a source of 2,000 years ago of somebody splicing? Because what you're showing me is a religion. Well, here's the thing. Before they got to the computer, wouldn't they have started off at the typewriter? Exactly. All right, wouldn't they have started with the printing press before that? It would have had to have gone communication with just ink and writing on paper, to creating a typewriter, to then creating the printing press, to then getting to a computer. This is why I say study the build. They wouldn't have got there overnight. You see what I'm saying? And all scientists are telling you that they had help from other conscious beings. All of them.
Literally.
The doctors and scientists of the Montauk experiment are literally saying the government, the army, had to have help that goes beyond the knowledge of this planet for them to be able to do the things that they're doing, because the human brain, the people with animal DNA, could not have constructed something like this. They don't have the neural pathways to do something like that. Yep. So I hope that helps.
And the memoologist that she was talking about, like, think about it. That's her occupation.
Yeah.
And she's using that occupation to lower the consciousness on dolphins, to lower neural activity in dolphins so they can speak. Just like how we're speaking now. We're not supposed to be speaking at all. This is what's keeping less of our brain active.
Yeah, go ahead, Clinky.
Yeah, hello guys.
Greetings.
Are we the same species? No. I say based on what I've learned in biology class, I'll say yes, we're the same species. Just because at the end of the day, everyone is the same when it comes to, like, we're all Homo sapiens. At the end of the day, now we might say we evolved in different ways or adapt to our environments, which make us look different, but at the end of the day, we are all the same species, which falls under Homo sapien. So if that's what you mean by we are all the same species, I don't know if you mean like humans only or like all living things on Earth, then that'll be a different thing.
So you believe that all people on the planet are the same species because we're all classified as Homo sapiens? Is that what you were saying?
Yes, because I would say, like, some people, some races, like Asians and white people, they do have Neanderthal DNA, but that's about it. But that's just a few percent there. At the end of the day, we all fall under Homo sapiens.
Okay, so like she just said, just because we're classified under those names doesn't mean that we're the same species, because our phenotype, which is directly connected and determined from our genotype, which is our genetic material, is completely different. We don't phenotypically look like a white person, an Asian person, an Arab, or a Dravidian. We don't have the same phenotype, the physical characteristics to be classified the same species. So that's why I said, like, you're talking about the full-grown organism, but we want to speak about the cells that these organisms are composed of. If we're the same species, how is it that they share DNA with animals and we don't? If we're the same species, how do we go from haploids to diploids?
Wait, what species? What race shares animal DNA?
What was
And
that?
what animal is it? What race shares animal DNA? Have animal DNA?
Wait, you're saying that we're all humans?
Yeah, everybody outside of so-called black people shares DNA with animals. They share DNA with over 25,000 different organisms that cannot naturally reproduce with each other. Celery, you see what I'm saying? Broccoli, chimpanzee, pig, dog, cat, fruit fly, carrots.
And so the black people?
Hold on
But
for a second. We do
go
one at
ahead.
a time. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna get to you. I know you want to express your frequency, but we're gonna get to you, all right? Go ahead. Go ahead and
Yeah,
tell
I
us.
was.
Yeah.
Oh, so humans great apes. We're primates at the end of the day. So the classification as in like we belong to the genus Homo, right? And then we comes from I think Homo. I forgot the other name. Homo apis something. Um, we origin from that. And
Yeah. Hmm.
when it comes to our phylum, what was the phylum again? I forgot. It's been a while since I read books, but yeah, those three classifications, and like basically that's why I said we are at the end of the day we are all the same species. Because if you do your research, perhaps I don't know everything, but if you do your research, I think like at the end of the day, every race is just human present. Like I said, some will have few DNA, Neanderthal DNA, but that's about it. Because of like how like other species of humans now extinct were mingling with each other.
Again, you keep telling me about this organism and you're saying classifications and saying that we are all human. Why can't an Asian man and an Asian woman produce a black baby? Why can't a white man and a white woman produce a black baby if they're a part of the same species? If we're all part of the same species, we should be all producing children of each other, just like giraffes, just like elephants, just like praying mantis, just like ants. But guess what? We all have different phenotypes, again, which is physical characteristics and behavior that is determined and connected to your genotype, which is your genetic material, your type of melanin that you have, which so-called black people have neuromelanin. So how does neuromelanin that is organically found in nature change into a lab-made melanin, which is vitrosynthetic pheomelanin or vitrosynthetic eumelanin? How does that happen? How does eukaryotes have more than one genetic material within their cell when we don't see cows and dogs reproducing to create a human? How do you have 20% of Neanderthal DNA and 98% of chimpanzee DNA and then 60% chicken DNA? You're not 100% of an entire organism.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. A Neanderthal is not 100% a Neanderthal. Like, we saying that casually, but they share DNA with animals that don't share DNA with this planet, because all life forms come into existence either through biogenesis or through spontaneous generation. So we're saying that so-called all humans are the same, but all humans or cells don't stem from the same embryological origin. So how would we be the same species? How would we be the same species when we first came in contact with these people? They were wiping us out. They wiped out 2 continents alone of our people with toxic seminal fluids. This is the reason of why the ROGAM shot and things were created later, because they were trying to stop that process. But prior to that, you had to know that our people were dropping like flies. There's books on this. You see what I'm saying? When we can read the book, When Grape Was Legal, they were graping our children fresh out of the womb, writing love letters to the people in Asia saying, hey, come over here and do this. We're doing this to the so-called black people. And now we're trying to say we're all the same species. But when it comes to your psychological state, which is directly connected to your genetics, because that's the first thing that forms in embryogenesis, our brain cells don't come from the same origin. So why do we see the same actions that these people have been doing collectively for the last 4,000 years, but we see our actions and our behaviors for the last 13.6 billion actually that extends beyond this planet?
Exactly.
They're saying that the so-called black woman is the only person on this planet whose DNA is connected to another species outside of the planet.
That's also neuromelanated.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We don't share any DNA and genetics with these people when it comes to embryology, right? We can't just look and say that we have a heart. Cool. Are our heart cells made of the same cells? No. So how can I say that this is really a heart?
Exactly.
if your thumb in all the bones, all of the bone marrow, the tissues, the cells, they don't even there. You need atoms to vibrate at a speed to eventually turn into cells. And so if these people have a eukaryotic cell origin, they're not composed of atoms. Because they don't come through biogenesis. They're composed and break down to calcium ionospores.
Exactly.
Like
So if it
even
makes
on an atomic
your
level.
hand, how can you say your thumb and my thumb are both thumbs?
Right.
We're two different anatomies then. You see what I'm saying? We can be classified as the same species then.
Yeah, the people
So
that are saying
based on what
Go
I
ahead and explain to
understood.
us.
Oh, I was just saying, like, based on what I understood by what you guys are saying is, um, for Black people, we do have DNA also related to other beings outside, like out of Earth. Like that's what you're saying.
No, we're saying that all so-called Black people's genetics has the same embryological origin, which is the totipotent stem cell of our mother's wombs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And our mother's wombs obtain stardust, and she creates stardust inside of her womb. You see what I'm saying? Which is hydrogen, helium, oxygen, nitrogen, and carbon.
right,
Yeah, I understand. It's just like there was a part she said, our DNA also, it's not all of it is of like Earth. I don't know if I got that right. Like,
No, she said our DNA is connected to a whole group of neuromelanated organisms outside of this planet. We are the only
oh,
people
okay,
that's
okay, got it.
connected to another group of people who has the same phenotype as us outside of this planet, which shows that neuromelanated people are ubiquitous. We are everywhere throughout the entire cosmos because we are made up of prokaryotic cells.
Okay, okay. I mean, I agree with that because there was a documentary I think I saw, or it was on the news where they were talking about describing extraterrestrial beings as darker skin or black. So I
okay.
would kind of agree on that.
All right, we
I
got you on
got you,
that.
my sister.
Appreciate
You
it.
can stay up here. I just got to introduce the other people that want to speak. Go ahead, Noetic, and gratitude for sharing your frequency, sis.
Abundance for that. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Hey, brother, you said that black people have prokaryotic cells and everyone else doesn't. So that we are basically like extraterrestrial derived. Do you know that a prokaryotic cell is a single-celled bacteria? What you're
Yep.
saying is utterly ludicrous.
There
Yeah,
are different types of prokaryotes, and he's talking about a prokaryotic cell that's coated in neuromelanin. Are you well versed in those? In that
I'm
type of
just
bacteria?
well, I'm checking it right now because I'd never heard this argument before, right? I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to say something that was it. So I'm just going to ask right now. I'm talking to you, while I'm talking to you.
okay,
Prokaryotic.
go ahead and tell me how so-called black people aren't prokaryotic cells.
And because prokaryotic cells are single-celled organisms, they've got
Okay,
absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with human beings. That's
okay,
not even in
so
any of us. None of us are prokaryotic. Not you, not anybody.
are organisms on this planet not made up of cells?
Wait, we're talking about single-celled
I'm asking you a
bacterial
question. I asked you
organisms.
a question.
I don't see how. Like, obviously, we're made up of cells.
Okay, so again,
Eukaryotic.
okay, so when cell biologists, evolutionary biologists, when they speak of prokaryotes and eukaryotes, they're speaking of the functionality of the cell. You see what I'm saying? It's about the functionality of the cell, not just the cell itself. The cell is in constant motion. That's what energy is. So again, prokaryotes means unicellularly functioning organism, meaning that all the
No, it
cells in
doesn't.
my body, hold on for a second, meaning all the cells in my body, all the atoms in my body, all the tissue, organ systems in my body, all unicellularly function for one purpose, to keep the body in homeostasis. You see what I'm saying? And all of these cells all come from the same embryological origin, which is the totipotent stem cell. And in our mother's womb, she holds these totipotent stem cells, and these totipotent stem cells are able to create an entire organism from just a single cell. So I didn't just start out when I came out of my mother's womb. My journey started when I was in my mother's womb, when I was an embryo. You see what I'm saying? Before I was even the egg was or the genetic seed was fertilized. So this is what I'm saying to you. Multicellular organism, meaning that you have multiple cells from different organisms that cannot naturally reproduce in nature within your cells to help you. This is why you have organelles. This is why you have internal membranes. This is why you have different specialized compartments, because you need genetic material and blood from different organisms to regenerate yourself. That is a chemo heterotroph. You're not a natural organism.
All humans
So-called
do.
black people, when we're under the sun, we undergo black body radiation and ultra-fast internal conversion, which shows that we are photoautotrophs. We absorb the entire light spectrum of the sun and we dispense it evenly throughout our body, and through photonic emission, we feed all life throughout the entire universe, local and non-local, which is through morphic resonance and through quantum entanglement. So go ahead. So now that I told you that, can you go ahead and explain to me how so-called black people have animal DNA when we don't have the phenotype of no animals, and how did haploids change into diploids? Can you explain to me the eukaryotic existence? Because you didn't come out of
You've made about 20 different
you didn't
points
come out
there.
the universe's womb. So
First
go
of
ahead
all,
and explain that.
Why would somebody mute me when you've just asked me a question? I think that's quite rude for you.
The whole time he's been talking. Go ahead and answer his question.
Not the whole time. Not the whole time, just to the end. I don't have any problem with black people, just to be clear. Zero.
His base question, please.
Answer the whole thing I just said. It's all one thing.
There's about 20 different things. I could pick up quantum entanglement. What on earth has that got to do with the electromagnetic field that permeates all of the universe?
Oh my gosh.
You was talking about
entanglement, bro. What's up? Like, what?
He brought quantum entanglement up. He literally said it.
That's what.
See, dude, you can't. Yeah, I gotta get you. Your brain can't receive this information.
It, bro. You don't understand. You just said quantum entanglement. How does this have to do with electromagnetic? Boy, get your ass on, man.
And again, you was just talking to me about the meaning of prokaryotes and eukaryotes. I told you the meaning of prokaryotes and what they're connected to. I told you the meaning of eukaryotes and what they're connected to. That's all I did. And you said I talked about 20 different things because your brain views reality in parts. You can't put the pieces together.
Jameson, you can leave, bro.
Your brain is not able to know that these different fields of science is one thing. Biology is chemistry. Chemistry is genetics. Genetics is anatomy. Once you know all of these things is one thing, but you can't put the pieces together. So you're like, oh, you said 20 different things. I can't pick it up. I don't know what you said. I'm talking about prokaryotes and eukaryotes.
Jameson, you're talking about Schmate. Nobody said that. We're talking about how you don't come from biogenetic processes. This is how we know, again, because y'all have problems holding on to light, and information is light. Y'all have problems with hearing the conversation and the information that's being talked about in here. You can't hold on to it to comprehend it and actually continue to thought transgress through what was being discussed. And that's because the underdevelopment with the frontal lobe. Respect. I'm just saying that respectfully. I see you're on the panel. Danny, go ahead. Caroline, you can come up if you want to speak. Because you're saying let's speak. Stop being so defensive. Come up on the panel. No one's being defensive. I don't know why y'all saying defensive is.
If me speaking up for my species, speaking up for my children is defensive, you can call me whatever, but I'm gonna stand up for my people. Exactly. Intellectually, spiritually, emotionally, and physically, I'm gonna stand up for my people. So I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. Our people are being lied to.
We're being y'all told lying.
That we're animals. I speak with intensity behind that.
You trying to merge our anatomy together when we're not the same. You trying to lie to our children, saying that they life started as slavery. You see what I'm saying? You trying to lie about our cosmic ancestry. Fuck out of here.
If you don't know what we talking about, then you really shouldn't be talking. The fuck. I don't even know what y'all are talking about. None of y'all do. You see your counterparts on the panel? They don't even know. Let me ask you a question. You know how that sun is affecting that DNA?
Exactly.
Hello? Anybody home? You know how that sun is tapping that ass?
Come on, y'all.
Know about that. The fuck? Y'all like deflecting. That's why I don't play with these people, man.
1,500 of your people are unaliving per day due to photons, due to photonic energy. due to literally what the universe is made up of. The whole universe environment is solar radiation. And you can't absorb it. Acute body radiation, photocarcinogenesis. This is what goes on within your cells in your integumentary system. This is what goes on.
Wait. Hold on.
Yo,
Let's take that shit off, man. That you win, take that shit off. All that
take
shit you got going on, take that off, please. Is that your
take
profile? That's
you
your
mean?
profile?
Oh yeah, it's my profile
Okay,
pic.
I thought that was a video. Go ahead, my bad.
Go ahead and share your thoughts and visions on the topic.
You talking about like white and black people? That's what the topic talking about. And how like they're
Talking about life on the planet. There's only two species on this planet: prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Natural organisms and synthetically made organisms. Are we the same species?
I mean, y'all know we're not the same species. They were created. But my thing is like instead of I guess like bashing them for being created, how about we all try to, figure out some shit. Granted, they is on some fuck shit and they be, but everybody fucked up in their own way. We be doing fucked up shit too, but everybody useful in some way, shape, or form. So instead of being like, oh man, y'all are bad. No, y'all are bad. No, y'all, you feel me? We need to, we all mature, we all grown.
Who said that we're bad or good? We didn't say anything about ethics or morality or hedonism. So where are you getting that we're saying that they're bad? We just asked them, are we the same species? And y'all are taking it as bad and good. We're asking about all life on the planet. Y'all are coming in here making it about YT and BOK. We said, are we the same species? We didn't say name. We didn't say race. We're talking about genetics.
And then you asked me a clarifying question, and I said, there's only two species on this planet.
Right.
Prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Natural organic organisms and synthetically made organisms. You started again to bring up white people and black people from your own consciousness. You projected that onto the reality that we're in right now, sharing it. You brought that into our reality. You brought that into our mind space. So don't come in here saying that we shouldn't be spewing hate when all we're telling them is that we are genetically different. Your people should not be policing us. Your people should not be medically and psychologically evaluating us. We don't need to be following none of your laws and regulations because we only follow universal law. We only follow ourselves. You see what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what this live is for, is to bring awareness that we're living with a mixed animal hybrid that is unnatural and is trying to dictate how our lifestyle should be.
Right. So all of that is true. Like I'm not going to sit up here and say you're wrong or no, you should be. No, that shit true. Like hands down, that shit true. But we gotta remember though, we're living in a game, bro. Like none of this shit is how it's supposed to be. So if we're not even supposed to be working jobs and paying bills and shit, that it's gonna be backwards when it comes to the policing of the world that we live in. It's gonna be fucked up when it comes to who's telling us what's wrong with our bodies and what we need to eat, what we need to do. All of this shit is gonna be fucked up, gang. It's fucked up, bro. Fuck the people not being normal, bro. You gotta understand bro. It's well, I don't know if I can say that on here, but you know what I'm saying. Them type of people telling girls what it is to be girls, bro, and those are boys. So this whole shit is fucked up, gang. Like the whole shit is fucked up. And I'm not gonna sit here and say it's somebody's fault or this person's fault, but the whole shit is fucked up. So if you look at that part, you got to look at the whole shit.
So what's your solution?
There is no fucking solution to this shit, unless you're really one of them ones and you're tapped in for real and you know what's coming up. That's the only solution that I can see. Just sit down and deal with it until this shit comes up, until this shit happens. Because otherwise,
so what happens?
Are y'all tapped in?
Bro, just come on, man.
Come on, man. Don't we grown, right?
Spoil it.
You over here playing games and asking
but what do I look like spoiling it though? It's gonna happen. Trust me, something's gonna happen.
This nigga think this shit a movie trailer. Have you seen this movie trailer? Like, nigga, I'm asking you, What the fuck are we gonna? What's the next steps we're gonna take to get back to our babies that's getting snatched all over the planet, that's being abused all over the planet? The fuck? This nigga talking about, oh, there's nothing to do.
Nah, he came in here saying,
like, what the fuck?
That if we're just gonna say are they good or bad and no solution, and then the first thing that came out of his mouth is that there is no solution unless you wait until something else outside of yourself happens first before you decide to move, and then telling us, are we tapped in enough to hear? Like, man, you got, look, y'all got to start being real, man. You really, you look. I think y'all on the phones too much. The phone's gonna have to go. Something drastic is gonna have to take place to our people for y'all to lock in.
It has to.
It has to. Y'all on the phones too much. Like, this is your brother. That's not a gang. All right? So, I'm not trying to pick at people. I do just speak assertive because that's just me. If you don't like it, you just gonna have to learn how to read the energy and the intensity and the authenticity behind it. You feel me? Because I'm not saying nothing negative. That's the thing. I might speak with intensity, but that's to wake the next brother or sister up. That's not to put them down.
Exactly. And again, his genetics is made to protect and enforce universal laws. He see all of this destruction happening on his planet, in his house.
Talking about, man, shit, we can't do nothing.
We can't do nothing.
You can't look.
So sisters, you go in your house and somebody ransacking, you go, I can't do nothing. I can't do nothing.
All the sisters that's in here, you can't procreate with men like that. I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
Hell nah.
The brothers, when you hear our sisters coming up to the panel being pissed poor, you can't look another way, man. Look another way. Because if we just keep laying down having children with no reason, like
no
with
foundational,
no conscious intent behind it, we're gonna creating people like that. It's no shade to him. He can lock in. That's a grown man. You heard him say that. He said we's all grown. He can take control over his life. You don't look. That's the thing. That's the solution that everybody is looking for, is looking within. We didn't already did black businesses. That didn't fucking help us, right? Because that's their shit. Businesses come from them. That's their ideology. Right?
Reparations.
We done seen everybody else get their reparations, and the niggas who's printing the money is dangling in front of our face. Every other community got their reparations. We the only one coming to TikTok asking the same niggas that's snatching our children, eating them, feeding them to crocodiles. We asking the same people that got us in this state for help. Repair me, reparations. The same nigga that came in your mama house, stole everything in there. Master, can I get my land back? I'm gonna go through your court system to do it. No dignity, no self-respect. And the ones who think like that, when you want to fight hard for a system that was meant to keep you from knowing who you are, instead of push universal law, you rather push this fake man-made ass law than universal law, but you're saying you're one with her. Man, you can't pay me, man. You can't pay me to be that low in a consciousness when I'm 50, 60 years old, coming to the internet every single day talking about some damn reparations. That shit pissed me off so fucking bad. Y'all, man, we sitting here telling you it's easy for you to understand that you're composed of the fabric of the universe, asking a dog for monkey coins. You can't pay me, man.
Exactly. Every time you outside and see neuromelanated people, that's currency right there. You see what I'm saying? We are each other's currency. You see magnetism, but like, dang, that's currency right there. We can amplify our energy. But guess what? We only care about money.
Yeah,
I don't get that.
Yeah, we can't be like that. We gotta step out of that shit. We gotta step out of that shit. I understand the passion behind it. I understand that shit because my grandmother told me the same thing. But they have been lying to us generation after generation. Whatever the last generation didn't handle, it immediately falls on the next generation. That's why it's time for us to lock in, man. Because the children, they stepping. If you pushing that divisive shit, you're going to have to get out of our way, man. Because the universe not taking it. It's not even me. Solar radiation, UVC radiation. The mother said it's time for us. I've been asleep too long. Who's going to help me raise my vibration? Who's going to be one with me? Who's going to unite with me? You want to be on a landmass first, but you can't tell me biogenetically how you're connected to it.
And this is how they're getting us.
It's no way we can think that we're high vibrational, pushing division. It's no way. It's no way, man. And I hear the passion and I see it, but you can't be doing that shit, man, without science, without natural science, without universal law, without understanding how the cosmos moves first and how it mimics and is expressed on a cellular level.
Yeah, we don't need nothing outside of us to help us shut this down. We can literally say we're all done participating in this system and depend on each other. Like every organism in nature. That's why they don't need money, because they have each other. That's it. Every time you see a nature documentary, every time you learn about nature, every time you're outside viewing nature on your own, you always see them depend on each other to get to the next sunrise.
Facts.
Why can't we do that?
Mm-hmm.
That's all we need to do. Our people are gonna be such in a sad state once we realize that all we had to do was learn how energy moves, learn about the divine law of wholeness. That's all we had to do. You didn't have to do nothing else. You didn't have to ask nobody. All you had to do was know who you were. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Not tapping back into the ancestors, tapping back into ourselves. You are the latest extension of that.
Yep, ancestors means ancient stars.
Your star. I was just gonna say that.
And the most ancient stars that come to the planet are children. So the past avatars that you want to call your ancestors are you today. You are the same people who built the pyramids. The same people who are arguing about reparations. The same people who are all of us who, no matter what frequency we're on this planet, we are the same people who built the pyramids. We're the same people who surf and navigated the cosmos. We are those same people. We are our ancestors. We are that.
Them things that them shits that we are our ancestors. Facts, literally in the flesh. You got to tap into yourself, right? When the ancestors that you're talking about, when they was on the planet, they was tapping into you. You tapping into them, but you're tapping into the universe, because we're all that. Biogenetic, amorphous, ubiquitous. Universe means one song. So you can't tap into that brother or sister until you tap into yourself.
And once you tap in, you better perpetually keep going and learning. You better not stop and say, stop. I tapped into who I was 19 this. Yeah. I've seen this, I've seen that. But what are you doing now? Yeah. It's not about what you've done. It's about what you continue to do.
Yeah.
How do you continue to fight for your people? Do you continue to uplift for your people? Do you continue to awaken your people? Do you continue to care for your people? Do you continue to see and create not just for yourself and then for your people? This is how it has to be.
Facts.
We gotta value each other so much more than we think than we're doing now. This system is meant for you to have a cold heart. It's meant for you to have a self-doubt.
Grand Canyon paintings, the oldest in America. Go look at them. Look, y'all. Look,
these people haven't even figured out this whole planet yet. They haven't even been on this whole planet yet. This is why we have to expand our mind, y'all. We are ubiquitous to the whole entire universe. Go ahead, Ben.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead and tell us your thoughts and visions on the topic.
No. According to molecular biology, every non-melanated being has some form of Neanderthal DNA to an extent. So that's false. I feel like the evolution theory was propagated just to justify racism. How they say Charles Darwin, he didn't even know anything about genetics. That was just pushed to I guess justify white people's actions during the time against black people. So no, of course not. We are not all the same species, and I don't understand how you can, share DNA with something not only that you never procreated with, you predate. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's for sure false, and that's a white supremacist talking point. Only white people say shit like, "Oh, we're all the same." I feel like every other non-white person doesn't even believe that. So
I just have a question because we've talked to you before.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
You should already know that every being on this planet has melanin, and that this is not just about YT people
and Neanderthals, and we've told you many
Yeah,
times
I know that.
about. We told you many times about the differences in melanin, the electrons, the atoms, the tissues. We told you about the differences in cell types. We talked to you about everything, and you still coming back with the same thing, saying the same thing to us about Neanderthal and titles. We have to rise above that, my brother.
What exactly do you want me to say? You want me to say every non-black has field melanin? Like, what difference does it make?
It's not what I want you to say. How
What's the
far in
truth?
consciousness do you want to reach in your journey? How much of the truth do you want to be exposed to your reality? Don't ask me questions that you should be asking yourself.
I mean, you just said I came over here saying the same thing. Like,
Yeah, I mean, you requested up and said this and said the same thing, and I don't know. Like, do you want me to say the same things back to you from when you said the same things before? I'm just
nah. I
letting you
mean,
know that
am
you
I
said the
wrong
same
about what
things.
I said?
We just like you look, we already know everything that you're saying. So it's like when you request up each time and say the same thing, it's like what else do you want us to say to you when you request up each time?
What what new thing would y'all want me to say? Like,
All right,
I'm
I
not
got you.
understanding.
Thank you, my brother. Gratitude for coming up.
There's more for you to see.
Yeah.
Because once you tap into more intellect, we can get back to our babies.
Speaking of
Simple.
babies, I actually heard him on a panel talking about how he don't really fuck with his own child. I don't have remorse for it.
See? Yeah, I can't respect that.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Like, y'all gotta understand that this app, like the things that you talk, engage in, repost, the things that you comment is showing us the inside of your mind.
And you brothers, you want to just pass information physically, but you don't want to pass down mentally. That's you're gonna get dealt with that. I'm just saying. From your own ignorance, from our own ignorance as a collective.
And you know what we stand for. You know we stand for the children, man. So it's like, come on, man. You can't don't do shit like that. Go ahead, Caroline.
Hey, I am like, I believe that you guys are right. Like, there is hybrids, and I'm Christian. I believe that Satan, and I believe in the book of Enoch. You know, like since the beginning, the fallen angels have been like messing with the DNA. There's been a DNA wars, and they've been creating hybrids among the earth. You know, since like they created the Nephilim. And I believe that that's happening nowadays. And there might, I'm not saying it is, there's a possibility, and I'm not saying all, but among the white race, I do believe that most of them could be part of that hybrid that may be among us for some reason. But I do know that's not all of them, because I do see like some of them, they have the Holy Spirit. And I'd be like, oh, these people have, you know, they have Jesus. And I'd be like, they're human, but I know that there is a deception among all races, race wars and everything, you know. They and I believe that the white race was created in that method, like to oppress y'all, and created slavery and all this thing and all this oppression among y'all. And I've seen it, and so I do think so, that there is something going on. I try to look up, investigate myself, but you know, I just leave it to God because I really don't know.
Okay, so you said Jesus and then you said Holy Spirit. Jesus is talking about is the Son. You see what I'm saying? And Holy Spirit is talking about again your morphogenetic field. So
No, honey.
you're saying no, but again, why would God create natural organic life on the planet with natural melanins, and then now he has unnatural life with it to disturb it and to now destroy ecosystems? Why would he create a species to do that? You see what I'm saying? Because again, so-called black people, that book is Helios Biblios, which means the sun book, is the book about so-called black people's genetics and how it correlates to the cosmos. The book again is just an allegorical book. When we're talking about DNA, when we're talking about genetics, which is your melanin, Y'all have vitrosynthetic pheomelanin, vitrosynthetic eumelanin, and vitrosynthetic neuromelanin. These are lab-made melanins. So you were saying that these beings was creating organisms, but yes, on the Sumerian tablets, there's reptilians who are splicing and genetically altering eukaryotes into existence and has y'all on leashes with different mutations in y'all chromosomes, because again, even at that time, y'all wasn't able to take the sun, y'all wasn't able to reproduce. So this is what's going on. You see what I'm saying?
And
There's two
if you read
species on this
the
planet.
book of Enoch, I think it's in the book of Enoch or one of the Apocryphas, it states when the first white person was created was after the flood, was in after Noah. They had a white baby, and
Yeah,
from the Caucasian race. So I do believe that's not all of them are hybrids.
but
That
that
we
mhm.
that not all of them, most of them, they are redeemable to God.
What do you mean? What do you mean by God and redeemable? What do you mean? Did
They
God
have a
create
soul.
beings on?
There's
How do they
something
have
that
a soul?
most of them
Hold
have a
on for a
soul.
second. Can you explain to me what the soul is and how they have one?
Exactly.
Hello?
The soul is just, the what connects you is what God created.
No, we're
Wait,
talking about the
wait.
composition of the soul. Don't tell me what it connects to yet. You have to tell me about what it is before it can connect to something else, right?
Well, I don't know if it's like a soul. It's just like it's part of your spirit. I wouldn't.
Part of
It's
the
not something
spirit. What is
physical.
the composition of the soul? I don't not
It's
what
not
is
something physical or scientific. Okay, it's not.
but atoms aren't physical either, but I can explain atoms. Electrons are physical either, but I can explain electrons.
Yeah, but the soul
Magnetism is
soul
not
is not
physical
something I
either,
can
but I can
explain what
explain
it's
that.
created
Sound is
of.
not physical either, but I can explain that. Light is not physical either, but I can again explain that. So go ahead and explain to me what the soul is.
The soul is just part of God.
Nah.
What God
Nah,
gave
yeah, see,
But I got you.
we got you.
God's
Thank
breath
you.
to you.
You
God's
can't
breath to you.
God's breath to you. You see,
I got
this
you.
this is like you're telling me fairy tales right now. The same extraterrestrials that spliced y'all into existence is the same one who wrote those fairy tales. That's you're trying to tell me to believe in some Santa Claus Easter Bunny shit. So again, go ahead, see, and tell me your thoughts and visions on the topic.
There are books on the my bad. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh,
Go
say what
ahead.
you was gonna
Go
say,
ahead,
bro.
CGB.
Uh,
CGB.
I don't have no kid. I wish I would stop spreading misinformation. I do not have a kid.
So okay, bro, you have like 5 accounts though. So it wasn't on the account that you were on, but you were on the panel with someone else. Y'all were talking down on children, relationships, and women. And you see how he every time, like, you see how
yeah,
many accounts did this nigga have? You're like, damn, bro. Why
obsessed
would you
with us.
come with
Like, why
another
would you?
account? You could have came on the same account, bro. Why did you come on a different one? It's okay, bro. Like,
You
it's
can't even
cool.
say that and leave. Like,
Like,
bro,
why
I
would you
have
leave
no
and then come
respect for
back?
you,
He
bro.
just came back in
It's
on
sad
his
that you're my
account.
reflection, my brother. It's sad. It's sad that you're the same brother I built planets with. It's sad, bro. Your intellect has to rise, bro. Go back for them children, bro. Go back for that star seed and stop trying to, like, what the fuck? Don't come in here with no other bullshit. I promise you, don't come in here with that.
Yeah, you could
We're
have
not the
been
people
waking the
for
next
that.
brother up. It was a lot of brothers on that panel, and it was some sisters on that panel too. They need, if you have this information about us not being the same species, they should have heard that. You see what I'm saying? You every fucking live, this nigga come up, say something, and leave. Bro, you could have just, come on, man. You could learn and then share something with your people. But if it's the same 3 sentences every live, how
Yeah,
do
come
you
on.
want us to respond to you? And then you still saying the same shit that we explained to you last time. And then you like, what do you want me to say? Don't come up here no more, man. Just don't come up here.
That means your
Like,
brain
just,
waves is easily malleable. Anybody can influence that shit. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? When? That's what you're saying. You're a grown man. The fuck? People acting like they don't know how to make decisions for themselves no more.
Bro, okay, I got you, but I heard what was said in that live. I'm not, and I know who Box was lighting up for what.
Exactly.
Y'all were talking down on women and children too.
The universe heard you. You can't deny shit.
You also did not wake the other brother up that you were talking to. You were allowing him to talk about children and women the same way, but you want me to come, you want to come in here and act like the divine masculine. We got you, bro. Let's not center you. The topic of the screen is, are we the same species? You see what I'm saying? We got to be able to articulate the science. We shouldn't even be saying non-melanated versus melanated, because that's not true, right? 8 different types of melanin, 5 that are basic, 3 that are synthetic, known as in vitro, right? I was saying in vitro, but in vitro, cool, tomato, right? We got to be able to understand and put it in layman's terms what the soul actually is, the neuromelanin, the liquid sunlight. These other people don't have that. They have in vitro synthetic neuromelanin, in vitro synthetic pheomelanin and eumelanin. So it's not that they don't have melanin, they just don't have the same kind that we do. They just don't have the kind that is genetically created through biogenetic processes with conscious expansion when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, the universe, when it comes to
creating the body and the vessel. And the thing is, it's like, again, the type of DNA that you have equates to the type of melanin that you have. So if they have a different type of melanin, that's why they keep trying to say that we're on the same melanin spectrum to try to merge our bodies together.
Yeah.
But again, once you know that you have a different type of melanin, everything from your body gets built from that melanin. So you got to understand, that's what makes us a different species. That's what makes us a different species.
Yeah, that's what makes us different. You see what I'm saying? What makes us different is because of what makes us. You see what I'm saying? We're not made of the same material.
Go ahead, Dom. Go ahead and tell us your thoughts.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see him.
Left quick. Okay. But yeah, this is what we're talking about. We're just trying to get our people more aware of their surroundings, their environment. You see what I'm saying? So they can upgrade their sensory perception, so they can understand what choices, decisions they need to make in any state of consciousness.
Yeah, Fortunate, go ahead and tell us what you've been talking about the whole time in the chat for the last 2 hours. Go ahead.
What'd you say?
Go ahead and tell us why you disagree with the comments and what we're saying in this live.
Let's just talk about the skin color thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was arguing with Coco that that you develop like skin when you went to the northern latitudes, when humans migrated there, because the northern latitudes had small amount of UV in the sun's rays, and so humans developed a lighter skin to be able to absorb the UV rays. Then I also asked her, why is it that you think that in the whole Earth, around the equatorial areas, all the peoples and ethnic groups there have dark skin, and the only place that you can find a lighter skin is at the northern latitudes or in the colder climates? That's because they had to adapt that to be able to absorb the UV rays.
So they adapted. So they used to be dark, and then they adapted to be light.
Yes, because all humans, or the first humans started in Africa.
Oh, really?
300,000 years ago. And then they started to move out. And so let's just start there. You guys answer that. Why is it that every ethnic group that's in the equatorial areas are dark skinned, and there's no ethnic group in the equatorial areas that has light skin? But where you find the light skin is only in the northern latitudes.
Okay,
like the colder areas.
You're right. Because again, you can't take solar radiation where the most sunlight is at. But again, where there's cold places, there's so-called neuromelanated black people there that have adapted to cold weather, and their skin is still dark. There's black Eskimo tribes literally right now in northern Alaska. Right now.
They don't have
That
dark
have been
skin,
there.
no.
Hold on for a second. That have been there for millions of years. And again, they haven't changed. Their DNA hasn't changed. Their genetic structure, their genetic material hasn't changed. So if you're telling me an adaptation happened, go ahead and tell me the morphological and genetic and biological processes that created that change.
Mm-hmm.
It was a genetic change
Mm-hmm.
that happened to. There's a particular DNA that humans got. I think it's SLCA2, something like that.
They got? Like, what do you mean they got? Like, you just bought it at the store? Like, what do you mean?
No. So how adaptation works is over thousands and thousands of years, as the humans moved to a different climate, you started to adapt in order to better survive. And
Okay,
that's
I
why
got
that they had to adapt the lighter skin in order to take in more of the UV rays to get the vitamin D. Because if you had darker skin and you're in the northern latitude, it's very hard for the dark skin to absorb the UV rays that's in the northern latitude, because only a small amount of the UV rays that comes from the sun are able to get through, which is not the same as in the equator. Whereas in the equator, the sun is very hot and the UV rays are coming, very strong, and so people have dark skin in order to not accept too much of the UV rays.
Okay, so when you're saying UV, what kind of UV are we dealing with? Does the
UV from the sun.
Yeah, there's different types of UV radiation though. There's different levels. So
I
which
don't know about
UV?
that.
So you
I
don't
only know
know?
about the different amounts that could come through, but I don't know that there's a different types of UV. So you
Yeah,
guys tell me the
UVA, UVB,
different amounts of UV.
yeah, UVA, UVB, UVC radiation.
Yeah.
So these people that you're trying to tell me about, which stem from two different embryological origins, when we look at their skin cells, because that's what we're talking about, the skin, right? One skin, one
Before
in the cell.
before
Okay,
you
hold
go
on for a
on,
second.
No over talking.
because it
Go ahead,
Okay,
Benny.
so when it comes to neuromelanated people, we have the cells to actually take the full spectrum. So it doesn't matter what type of UV it is, and you get more from the sun than just vitamin D. Yeah, look, you can't just get one thing from the sun and then think that it's gonna power up your entire vessel when we're the sun in the flesh. We're not just made up of one thing. This is why we talk about prokaryotes and all of their genetic material coming from one origin. We are the liquid sunlight, so we are able to take the full spectrum. That means all interstellar gases, nanodiamonds, everything, all the charged ionized particles, everything that is being emitted from the sun, our cells can naturally absorb because they work like black holes. When it comes to in vitro, synthetic neuromelanin, pheomelanin, and eumelanin, they can only interact in small increments with UVA and UVB. We've seen UVC radiation began to be ground level in the last 11 years, and y'all been getting smacked. I'm talking about smacked by the millions each year all over the globe. No matter if you're in the cold region because that sun be reflecting off of the snow and y'all be getting sunburnt just like that. No matter if you so-called Elon Musk and you saying your ass is from South America or South Africa and you still can't take the sun. Like, it don't matter where y'all are at on the globe. You can't
that's
take the
because
sun
Elon is
because the
white.
sun
No over
is
talking.
shining. It's the same sun shining. So
Yep.
just because you change your location does not change the sun.
And again, yep,
Yeah,
that's facts.
it doesn't change the
Neutrino
sun.
beams that come off the sun, photons that come off the sun. Just like it dispenses ultra fast conversion within the neuromelanated body evenly, Earth does the same thing with her morphic field. When she absorbed the sun, when one part of her absorbs the sun, her whole entire the whole entire anatomy of her, the photons get dispensed evenly around the planet for equal energy distribution of growth of plants. So again, it doesn't matter what part of the planet you're on, you're still going to have to absorb terrestrial radiation, which and the terrestrial radiation, the ground absorbs solar radiation all day. This is why lightning comes out the ground, because the metals, the light, the photons all of that interacts with each other to create magnetism, which is that's what's separating and creating molecular bonds within your cells, your eukaryotic, homeobox, hybridized cells.
Okay, I was trying to stop Jay earlier because she's saying a lot of stuff that I feel like she has to qualify first because one, I don't accept any of it, or two, you guys have to prove it first to me before we continue the conversation, or else I'm not going to be productive to the conversation because you guys are making a lot of claims of where I feel like you guys are not able to provide me proof in order for me to operate in good faith.
Hold on,
you
Fortunate. Take me step by step what you need proof of, and I'll give it to you. Number one, go ahead.
The embryonic thing that you mentioned first.
I'm glad you asked. Baby's sitting right next to the book, Why Darkness Matters, The Power of Melanin in the Brain, written by 4 BLK neuroscientists, Dr. Edward Bruce Bynum, Dr. N.C. Brown, Dr. Richard King, Dr. T. Owens Moore. Thank you. Number two, please.
For the citation?
Number two.
No, just give me
Embryology.
the citation.
This is a book
so I can
about
look it up and read for myself.
Look, I'm not going to do that with you, all right?
You're a grown man, right?
Okay. You asked me about.
You know how to talk to people.
You asked me about the embryological origin, Dr. N.C. Brown.
Because I want to write it down. Okay. I want to write it down. So you're not giving me the chance to do it.
Yeah, I got you.
So let her speak so you can write some shit down. But if you keep speaking while she's speaking, what the fuck you gonna write down? Sit your ass down and wait.
Why Darkness Matters is the name of the book. Why Darkness Matters. The Power of Melanin in the Brain. My main page is Skywatcher. All my books are posted on there. All the sources, I'm just banned on that account. So I'm on this one. But all the books that we quote is on my page. I'm going to type, and it's also in my bio on this account too. And I also have a YouTube where all this information is at too, where we break it down and put it on the screen in the lives.
Exactly.
It's just a recording.
And all these authors that she just named all have books about neuromelanin separately. So all these people, y'all should be researching these people's names and see what they be saying about neuromelanin, because these are doctors that work with the spin of melanin, with neuromelanin to be exact. And neuromelanin creates your entire body. That it forms the neural tube, then forms the neural crest, which forms your brain and spinal column. You see what I'm saying? And that forms your blood vessels, everything, your bones, your gonads, your organs. It forms everything after that. So your whole body comes from your nervous system.
Another source that I will give you for that is the male brain and the female brain. It talks about embryology in there as well, in embryogenesis, because the brain is the first thing that forms in embryogenesis. And that is written by Luann Berzendine. I'm going to type it in the chat for you, her name, because she's a neuroscientist.
Yeah, and then we're gonna need everything from you on how an explanation on how we are all one human race. You see what I'm saying? On how us moving into a colder climate changed and adapted our genes when cell biologist John Biggerstaff said that never happened. So I just want to know. You see what I'm saying? Your
and also you didn't.
I want to know all of your information on that too.
Well, first, let's go back to my argument I made where I told you that why is there no ethnic group that had any light skin in the equator area?
So then I answered your question.
So you haven't answered that.
And I answered your question and said there's black Eskimos right now in North Alaska that is.
I said the equator. I said light skin in the equatorial area.
Yeah, and I did answer that, and I said the reason why you don't see people with pink skin, because y'all are not light skin. You're a pink skin, mucous membrane skin, animal DNA skin. The reason why you don't see a lot of y'all in the equator is because y'all can't absorb the pressure, heat, and vibration of solar radiation. You can't absorb it. and that's where it hits at. But it dispenses throughout the entire body evenly. So if I have just my foot out on hitting the sun, once my foot receives the sunlight, it dispenses that sunlight evenly throughout my body, through each cell evenly. That's equilibrium. That's homeostasis. Y'all cells can't do that. That's why when your cells do come in contact with solar radiation or terrestrial radiation, you have Europe right now, all of y'all was in the cold, y'all was still unaliving under the sun. Now the sun is amplified, you're unaliving because the sun is going to radiate throughout the entire planet. You see what I'm saying? This is a tropical planet. This is a solar planet.
Even what you just said, you have to qualify us. So you're saying that Europeans or white people are being
Yeah, you can just
come
check.
unalive right now?
Yeah, it's the number one thing being talked about in the world. The El Nino and the massive heat wave is being talked about on every major news station, not just here, across the globe. There, I don't know how you haven't heard about France.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it say
London.
that.
Yeah,
That's the cause.
I'm telling you right
She's
now.
telling you.
France, London, the entire Europe, their streets are melting. Their street lights are melting, and people, they don't have AC because it doesn't get above a certain degree above Celsius over there. And for the first time ever, it has. So now people, they're not used to having AC in their homes. They don't have it because it's not a normal thing there. So they are now in the IKEAs, the malls, to get air conditioning. So it's got to be warmer than what they're saying over there for the streets and the stoplights to be melting and for the people to be thousands. That 1,000 that they're talking about on the first day,
country.
That was in one country. That's now quadrupled.
Yep,
that's
4,
up to 5. Well, I almost seen up to 5,000.
Okay, she seen to 5,000. I seen it earlier to 4,000. See, it's just climbing more and more. More and more of your people are getting exposed to radiation, and what that's doing is opening your cells up, because UV radiation opens the cells. But when UV radiation opens your cells up and your nucleus gets directly hit with UVC radiation, now that a molecular bond is going to break, because you're going to have a double strand bond break, because your cells can't hold on to the heat, pressure, and vibration of the sun, because y'all are made up of calcium ionospores, not atoms and electrons and protons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, none of that is proven, by the way. You guys are just saying that without providing me.
Show me the proof again, how we went from haploids to diploids. I told you that there's black Eskimos in North Alaska right now. And that's a document you can easily look up.
They are not black.
That's not something I even got to pull up.
They are not black, and you know that there's a difference.
You saying they're not black? What? I don't know what black is. I'm just saying that these.
You know what I mean? That they're not African American colored. It's different.
Okay, hold on for a second.
I'm finna show him all the stories. Look, the Indian Express, DW, The Guardian, CNN, CBS, Fox 4, the New Scientist, UN News, the New York Times, the World Meteorological Organization, WMO.
Now, why don't you just put it in the back of your screen so I can read it? Put it in the back of your screen so I can read it.
Okay, first of all, look, I'm gonna tell you something right now, man. That over talking and shit is not cool.
I ain't gonna lie, we not finna say nothing else until you prove your shit. Facts. We put our facts on the screen. We told you the scientists. You haven't told us one scientist.
Even the sources
shut your mouth. I give you a scientist saying that white people, y'all didn't come from so-called black people moving into a new environment. You didn't do that. Cell biologist
came from humans, not black people, humans.
You're not giving me shit.
You guys haven't given me anything credible.
Look at the screen.
Because the source she gave you, I looked it up and it's
we cool off you. We cool off you.
Yeah, because all of your major news stations are talking about this. Every single day that so-called unalive toll goes up. I don't know how you are on TikTok and you haven't heard about this, because everybody is talking about the heat.
Why are you unaliving more than being born, and you trying to question my existence? Your people are undergoing a global extinction level event due to solar radiation. It's because of the sun. The sun is separating the prokaryotic cell and the eukaryotic cell because we've been fooled to think that we're the same species as y'all. So the sun and the universe said, I'm separating this shit up. And that's being done through, again, gamma radiation, UVC radiation. You was nervous as hell to speak the whole time. You couldn't tell me shit. You didn't tell me shit.
Because that was in the colder climate and the warmer climate, and then they had, and then I'm like, child, I can't listen to this shit, man. I can't even.
You sound like uneducated. Like, what the hell was that? They were in the colder climate, and then they moved, and then they adapted. What was the morphological, chemical, and biological processes? You didn't name one.
You're just making stuff up.
You didn't name one.
Bro, I'm sitting next to the book Morphic Resonance. That's not made up.
Didn't name one.
That's the literal field that is around the cells and around the body. That's why y'all can't take the sun, because you don't have a morphic field.
That's when in India 3,400 of y'all just are dying per day.
You gotta say F1.
Oh, F1 are unaliving per day. Japan, Korea, y'all are unaliving F1 per day. You see what I'm saying? Unaliving thousands and thousands per day. Y'all are closing down schools. There's nothing for y'all to teach. There's no future for you on this planet. That's what y'all got to get through your head.
He's saying no proof. And then I literally wrote down the book. He's saying he wrote down the book. So did you write it down? What were you writing down if you didn't have proof? This nigga, man. You got to get out of here, man. Like, what? He said, what's the embryo? I said, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. I'm actually sitting next to the book that talks about embryology and embryogenesis, the brain, and why it matters, and how your body is constructed around the brain. That's the first question he asked me.
Yeah, we told you everything. You didn't tell us shit. You can replay this live back. We told you every piece of information of where it came from, the source. You didn't tell us anything. You just kept saying the word adaptation and colder climate and then UV light. But again, you didn't even know that other levels of UV light existed. But you're trying to tell me about an adaptation that you know happened, but you don't know what type of light made it. That tells me you're confused. That tells me that you have socuses naturally.
Bro said, and you read them that fast too? Bro, the book came out in the... These people, I'm telling you, there's something wrong with them. You think the book came out yesterday? Like, what? The book been out, like, for decades, bruh. Like, nigga talking about you read it that fast. Like, This is wild. I didn't even know this was the same people we was living in the world with, like, at the grocery store, like,
for real,
at schools and shit. Like, these is niggas all grown up. Like,
these are people we went to school with.
Like, you know, people that you drive on the roads with, like, this is how they think. Hell nah.
You see what I'm saying? But genetics exposes it all. Genetics tells us who is who and what is what.
You're saying the sun felt great, but how do your cells feel? That's why you should go study yourself in acute body radiation and chromosomal deletion syndromes.
Yep. Ionizing radiation is UVC radiation. You can look up what does ionizing radiation do to homeobox genes? What does ionizing radiation do to eukaryotic cells?
Wait, they're not talking about us. That's why when we go through the thing, my bad. We trying to catch up on the comments, and we seen them. It's kind of hard up here from our perspective. I ain't gonna lie. Okay. They're agreeing. I thought you was. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all. It'd be so many trolls in the chat. I apologize deeply from the bottom of my heart.
Okay, we got somebody else. Abundance, y'all. Abundance, y'all, for coming in and being receptive to the information. We respect and value y'all, for real. Go ahead, G, and tell us what are your thoughts and visions on the topic. G. You didn't mean to come up, huh?
Yeah, probably not. I think it was an accident. Yeah. Yep.
All right, y'all. Yeah, it's been a great live. Y'all been seeing again us debunking the lies that we're living under. If we all start to debunk the lies that we're living under, the atmosphere around us will become truth.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's what you're here to do. Know what's real and fake. Know what's temporal. Know what's eternal and immortal. You see what I'm saying? Know what lies is. Know what truth is. That's what you need to know.
Yeah,
That's it.
And she's right about the gratitude, Cocos, gratitude, greetings and abundance to you. The sister says, see how many YT the corona. Yeah, facts, because corona, sun, virus, that's a cover up for what's really been taking place, since that was created. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to flag the live, my bad. Yeah. But the all these different viruses that they're talking about have been recycled since 541 AD. I'd even take it above then. I'd take it further than that, because you would have to look at the creation of the eukaryotic cell. Like these people today, we're listening to a genetic, you might as well say a genetic journalist. It's a genetic researcher, but it's the same thing, like what journalists do for crime and things like that. This is what the same thing that geneticists do. They go around to different hospitals or to different families that have these interesting mutations, and they use these people's cells for research. And the genetic researchers put together and compile the information to put out for people to study. Scientists will study it, do create a study, abstract, put all the information out, and this is where they post things on like cell.com, which is like a Facebook platform for scientists that put their work out for other scientists to observe. So the thing is that this genetic researcher basically was telling us how they took DNA from a jellyfish and introgressed it with a rabbit. And when the rabbit was born, it was glowing in the dark. Like they turned the lights off and the baby rabbit was literally glowing because it now has bioluminescence. So why would you take a jellyfish from the sea and in a rabbit that already has introgressed genes and introgress the genes even further? Right?
Would you call yourself a biologist or a synthetic biologist?
I would call you a villain.
Exactly. A mad scientist.
This is what these scientists do behind closed doors. If you think about Kim Possible, right? And the villain that was in that. If you think about Static Shock and the villains that were in that. If you think about every cartoon or TV show, even in anime, like Hunter x Hunter, Illumi, you see what I'm saying? All these different shows are talking about an entity literally creating different organisms or trying to create an army to combat the natural ones, or, you know what I'm saying? Trying to create different potions, or even like Phineas and Ferb, which I've always watched Phineas and Ferb and thought, man, it's something deeper about how you can literally see quantum science expressed even in that show. The kids create something new every single day and it somehow magically disappears. You see what I'm saying? Come to find out, there's a scientist from back in the day. His name is Phineas. I need to do some more research on him and what type of creations that he did. But these cartoons are connected to real things that have happened, right? So all of the splicing of the organisms and how they're able to easily do it today is a direct link in expressing how they had to start small, right? They have to start out small, work with small microorganisms, small bacteria, right? There's bioluminescent bacteria, right? There's even bacteria that acts like a plant and an animal, but it is not a plant and it is not an animal.
So what does that tell you about taxonomy?
Exactly, that it's a lot more vast than what they're
not
saying.
Animals, but there's a lot more organisms than what they tell you.
Yeah,
life forms.
Yeah, the Powerpuff Girls, facts. The Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory. You see what I'm saying? All cartoons is telling you some type of truth. Even Totally Spies, all the tech, the gadgets and stuff in there that they use. You gotta like pause the show and go look that up because a lot of that stuff is real. So what is that telling you about the spy industry, right? The detectives, right? The investigators, right? The people that are covering up the stories for the things that are happening. Roswell conspiracies.
That show is good.
That show is woke as hell. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's on Tubi, it's free. Roswell conspiracies, and then you gotta watch something like The Hills Have Eyes 1 and 2, which is a documentary
about their genetic expression. You see what I'm saying? So again, like when they say sci-fi, science fiction, the science is real. The only fiction is who's playing the character in the movie or in the show, and why, and who's always playing who do you see on the screen at all times? The eukaryotic cell.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fiction. That's
the
it.
fiction. If they actually
all the shows tell you the truth.
Neuromelanated people, even like Teen Titans, all of the different shows, if they actually showed our people doing this, it would be true. And that's why we be telling y'all to look into genetic engineering and how prokaryotes, how they function, how they reproduce, how they replicate. You see what I'm saying? That's why I be saying study the biochemical substances, study gamma radiation. Don't just say it because Rashad Jamal said it, right? Don't just talk about the veins because somebody else did. Learn why that is a key thing. Learn why that applies to us and why that is important to us, right?
Yes.
Right? When we say that we're sun people, why aren't we studying the sun? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And we have to also make sure that we're doing unbiased research too. Right? Not typing in what you want Google to tell you, but just sitting down with the phenomenon itself.
If they don't know how old the universe is and know how old the sun is, they don't know how old we are. So we can't fall for when they say oldest and newest, or they don't fall for those type of games, because this is the eternal now. The past, present, and future is right now. So you should be focused on the present moment and how to enhance the present moment. Because if you enhance and then put your attention and focus on the present moment, you will create a beautiful past and a beautiful future.
Yeah.
That's it. Then you don't have to worry about consistently worrying about the past, consistently worrying about the future, if you're consistently present. If you're consistently focused, driven, disciplined. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, it really is discipline, because a lot of people be like, hey, can you teach me and my mama, or can you teach me? And it's just like, nobody, the only thing that's teaching us is the universe. And I know y'all think that I'm bluffing when I say that, but I'm not.
Facts.
I'm really not.
Universal
like
facts.
When we see something, when we're learning, if I don't know something, I stop right there and I study it for the rest of the day until I enter and understand it. Sometimes that's 2 weeks. I studied the brain for 6 months before I really decided to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Before I really had a base understanding of neuroscience, the brain, the temporal lobe, the auditory cortex, the cerebellum, the amygdala. Like, you know what I'm saying? Why they call it the reptilian brain? Because I know I don't have reptile DNA. Why do they call it that? You see what I'm saying? The two different hemispheres, what they control, what they govern, right? Why is this considered the logical side and this the intuitive side? Why? What is the corpus callosum? Why is it needed? Right? You can each of each hemisphere of the brain is a brain on its own. It's two brains joined together by the corpus callosum.
Everything in you is a brain.
Every single thing.
Atoms has it's its own brain within you. The cells have their own brain. They all think for each other. That's what makes them unicellular. That's what makes your prokaryotic cell. How are your cells working in such unison to utilize sunlight like this? You gotta understand that is powerful. You see what I'm saying? So again, like, we also watched this neuroscientist last night too, and she was saying that, we actually do use all of parts of our brain, but she stopped there. But you got to tell the people everything else, because although that we do use all of the parts of our brain, that doesn't mean that my frontal lobe is being used at 100%. You see what I'm saying? It means that I'm using my entire brain at 3%, but it needs to be amplified from learning, from obtaining knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we need to be doing.
Facts. Like, they basically said, like, how the whole world has been believing that we have 100 billion neurons in the brain. That's just a magic number, like, that they just decided to just say because they wanted to.
Exactly.
That's why, because it's 100%. You see what I'm saying? 100, right? 100 billion neurons, like everything that when they talk about the mathematics, when they talk about any form of spatial reasonable thought connected to math, they're going to take it out of 100% or out of, out of 100. So I should have seen that coming, because I'm like, how do you have a solid 100 billion neurons, but you share DNA with different animals? You don't gain in vitro neuromelanin until ages, 3 to 5? Because the animals that you're spliced with don't. You know what I'm saying? That same thing happens for them. So now they're saying that the amount of neurons you have,
86 billion.
Yeah, they're saying it's about 86 billion. So y'all are not even as smart as you think you are. Let me just put that out there. Right? And that's why it's hard for y'all to hold on to light, which is information. You literally, when you think of a thought, in cartoons, they show you that a light bulb is going off, like ding. They make that sound and they show it like a light bulb. You remember Maya and Miguel? How her barrette used to light up? And the barrette was purple, by the way, for the crown chakra energy. Right? And what was I about to say? And when the brain, when you actually receive a thought, right, and synapses connect, right, and you're in alignment with yourself, light goes off in the brain. It's literally like a light bulb is going off in the brain, because friction, bioluminescence, luciferian, luciferase, right? When we look at, like, even in anime, like how we were talking about earlier in Hunter x Hunter, Killua's brother, his name is Illumi, and Illumi is the fucking villain of it all, right? He calls himself the Illuminated One, just like this entity is doing with the Illuminati. F1 in the chat. They talk about the Illuminated One because the basis of everything is light. And all the bioluminescence, all the consciousness.
All the reptilians that went later into the pyramids, they put on all of our attire and all of those things, but they were the only things not mummified.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, for this neuroscientist, for her to know how many neurons is in an organism, she has to cook their brain. You have to cook and make it soup, and she puts it in the fridge. And she said, I'm not going to throw it away. What? I'm going to keep reusing this. This is genetic material. You see what I'm saying? So for so-called black people, they don't know how many neurons you have. Because again, they don't know how old the star is, and they don't know how old stars are. The same way stars make constellations and communities is the same way your neurons form in your brain. You see what I'm saying? The same way you have a synapses, this is the same way that the sun communicates with other suns and planets.
Yeah, so literally on my main page, I have it posted on my story. The World Festival of Science always posts the top scientists in the world of different backgrounds. It's typically biology and genetics. And the scientist literally in the clip is talking about how she's talking with another scientist and how this scientist just has brains on deck. You know what I'm saying? In her lab. So they have whole entire brains. And in order for her to be able to count the amount of neurons, they had to liquefy it and turn it into soup. And that's the opening statement for the entire interview is, first of all, I turned the brain into soup and I just don't eat it.
Yeah, she So
basically she's saying that she does everything to the brain except eat it. Like, but the thing is that we know that these scientists are other entities in different suits. So the character that she's portraying in this suit may not be doing it, but the character behind the suit most definitely is, because that's the consciousness that's operating the body, right? That's why I'm saying it's easy for these entities to shapeshift into these people because they don't have a morphogenic field. That's why anything can possess their bodies, because there's no morphogenic field. When you're talking about in vitro neuromelanin, it's fake light.
It's like
so all you have to do is bend the light, this fake light, and if someone doesn't understand, they'll think that something that's not there is there.
Just bend the angle that they're viewing it in. Tell them something different. Tell them it's something different than what they're looking at. And that's how you bend light. And that's it. That's all it. These entities are doing. And we can easily log back into who we are. Easily.
A lot of scientists will, especially when you get into noetics and like different branches of like cosmology, I would say. I don't really know what to classify it as, but a lot of scientists will tell you that even if you think you see something, you really don't. And that's where you would have to get into studying the brain and why that would be the case. Because for us, we're able to see in different dimensions because we can actually take light. That's why our eyes are dark brown, right?
Looks like an eclipse.
Looks like an eclipse, but their eyes are greens and blues. You can't take in light like that. It's not dark enough to channel and project, you know what I'm saying, light back out to fully absorb it and to make it one, you know what I'm saying, one transaxative, you know what I'm saying, like one transaction of a thing, because light is gonna exactly absorb itself just like that.
Mm-hmm.
These
faster
people
than
are
any femtosecond.
Facts. Yep, faster than a femtosecond or the mega per second,
whatever. You're saying these people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, facts. So when they don't have, not having neuromelanin is the quickest way for nature and everything else in nature to tell that you're not natural. And that's why it's not just the sun, but there's organisms like the venom species. There's organisms that are prokaryotic that are native to this planet that are just now coming back online again. They like I said, everything, all of nature is turning on these people. The alligators, the bears.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, the
in
bears,
Japan.
the bears in Japan have turned on the Japanese. Like 50 different stories.
Hundreds of them have been getting eaten.
Yep.
By bears.
By bears.
Why y'all? They're
else?
skipping everything that's natural to go to you and unalive you. You see what I'm saying? And there's human mutilations that happen where a specific of your organs go missing, and a lot of them get abducted because there's a venom species, like she was saying, that so-called black people, we created these species for this type of event. If this event was to happen, and all the time, even in the town that I'm in, one of the eukaryotic cells told me that in their farm back in 1990, there was a crop circle. When the crop circle, after they left, crop circle was left, that same day when it reached nighttime, they were packing things up and everything from going to see it, and they were trying to get into their car, and then they saw a long 9-foot shadow with green eyes or some sort of eyes that was glowing, and it was all the way down the street, all the way down the country road, the dirt road, or whatever you want to call it. As soon as they like got scared and tried to go in their car, as soon as they turned on their car to drive out, it already had a scratch mark on the back of his truck. How does something all the way down the street, miles and miles out, that you've seen that was tall to you, now suddenly left a scratch mark on your truck? And ever since then, that eukaryotic cell, he said, I've always known since then, we're not alone. You see what I'm saying? I always know since then that there's more to what the government's been telling us.
And don't you have a picture of that truck that has the scratch, like in the video that you took of the orchard?
I actually don't have it, but
I thought you.
No, I don't have it.
Okay, but anyways, you can even just study crop circles. You know what I'm saying? And what is it called? Ancient Aliens. They talk about cattle mutilations. That's free on Tubi. You see what I'm saying? Or the UFO files. You see what I'm saying? All the documentaries on the UFO files talking about extraterrestrial life and the interactions that they've had with so-called extraterrestrial life. On Baby's YouTube, he has the Andromeda message posted, which was aired in 1978?
Yeah, the Veron message was aired in 1977 in southern England, and it was a message coming from the cosmos, and that they interrupted the interviewer's message completely, and then they started to now the beings from the cosmos. This has not been debunked by no scientist, nobody. It has not been debunked. They just been hiding it. So again, this message, they tell us about everything that's on the planet. They tell us about the unnatural species, about money, about us just knowing ourselves. It's the message literally left from our cosmic family, and it's on my page. It's literally on my YouTube. Zel2 Raw is the YouTube, yeah, and it's called the Veron message.
They interrupted a radio station, and it was aired in England, I believe, somewhere in Europe. But there was like, if you can just think of like listening to a radio like while driving, and then a message, you can hear the like another reception of another channel playing like slightly on the radio station you're listening to, except for this was not a radio station. This was like a message that was left and transcribed with the same tech that they use to communicate with extraterrestrial life, like on a with these, I don't know what branch of science that's called that they do that. But there's a branch of science that all they're responsible for doing is sending out signals from Earth to see if they'll get extraterrestrial signals back. And that's their whole like job, right? And so that's how they were able to decode this message and found out that it was a being had to be communicating with our people, saying keep living in harmony, right, with each other. That there's more, things taking place on this planet than your scientists are willing to admit, right? So that message is posted on his YouTube. You can actually hear it, and it's something that hasn't been debunked, but scientists do stay away from talking about it. And if I'm pretty sure if they were asked, they would be like, we don't have a comment, or that's not something that, or is that's lacking evidence because of such and such, such and such, such and such.
We're still researching it.
Yeah, we're still researching it.
We don't know what it is.
Yeah, what they say.
That's what they said. So, like, I was trying to think if we could play for y'all, maybe on her phone or something, but
I don't know if it'll, because I'm sitting next to you, so it's not gonna work. You know how you know what I'm saying? If I come off mute. But they can just go on there.
Y'all can just go on the YouTube, y'all. You see what I'm saying? That message from 1977 has not been debunked. It tells us that there's more extraterrestrials on this planet. It tells us that there's a being on this planet that's been splicing genetics and that's into genetic engineering for over 600,000 years. They tell you everything. I'm pretty sure, see, even the Mother of Life has it on her YouTube. There's multiple places. You can even just look up Veron message 1977 and watch that and tell me how you feel.
Yeah. And also, like I said, study the crop circles, because those are said to be done by the hands of God, the hands of so-called God, right? And I just seen a YT lady the other day. A lot of YT farmers are talking about their crops and their pigs, their chickens being mutilated. Like something, they said, I don't know what would have caused, and they're just showing like a laid out strip of pigs. Like they're like, I don't know what would have unalived my pigs, what would have unalived my chickens. This one lady was showing how all her corn crops were messed up, and to me, it looked like the grass was really like bent, like a crop circle. And I'm like, damn, I wonder if I could see the satellite view of her farm, if it would look like a crop circle or a message of some sort. That's definitely worth sitting down and like studying like a whole day of what the scientists are saying about crop circles, and how it would even need to have been done, because they don't have the tech to be able to do something like that, because the grass doesn't get damaged, it gets bent, like something is doing it with like light, like a laser beam or something.
Yep, it's like they're still taking care of the grass while using it to express a message. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is, y'all. Like this is what it's for. Like, it's a test of our unity. We can't keep spreading division amongst our species. We can't keep doing that. We don't need the sun and the universe and anything else outside of us to stop what's going on. We can choose it by learning self. See what I'm saying? And once you learn self, you will understand what is living, what is living and what is non-living. You will understand the different species that these people have been hiding. See what I'm saying? There's different petroglyphs and hieroglyphs depicting all sorts of extraterrestrials, all sorts of beings. But they also show us all in unison together. They also show the neuromelanated species working together and being in unison together in a community and building a global civilization. That's what that also shows us. We all want to talk about the pyramids, but not us being unified within them.
Yeah, and then like you also see extraterrestrials with beings that are spliced as well, because a lot of splicing took place on this planet. That's why Trump is showing you images of so-called Nordics. But to MJ that's in the chat, says seems like they do that whenever they get upset. They send messages. It's really to the eukaryotic cell. Like when the messages are so-called decoded, it's really them saying, can you please stop doing what the fuck you're doing to our planet? We've been trying to let them know through crop circles, through the Vilron messages, through solar radiation, through everything. And these people don't want to, the entity that is controlling them doesn't want to relinquish the power. So that's the thing. Like this has to shut down, because having the electron in the palm of your hand, which is the most powerful thing in the universe, is why this entity is able to do everything that he's able to do. Is because of something simple as the electron.
Yep, and the thing is, they're only letting those messages. They're letting us know about the messages, or they're sending messages because they're letting us know about the alignments that's coming. You see what I'm saying? All they're doing is just doing what their universe told them. Just let them just make sure that they know that the alignment is coming. Right. That's it.
And because they ignore it.
That's it. But they ignore it. You see what I'm saying? They literally said, if you keep it to the eukaryotic cell, if you keep ignoring what's going on, there will be a point of no return. And they, as you can clearly see, they're at a point of no return. They're done. Yeah. They're removed off the planet. They had our people, our cosmic family, actually tried to see these people in a better light and try to see if these people can cosmically evolve. You see what I'm saying? Or they had a chance of evolution, but they don't. They can't. Every action, they will say one thing and then their action is something else. They're an incomplete species. So this is what these crop circles are for. It's really for them, because we don't need crop circles to know who we are. They need the crop circles to know what's happening on the planet.
Yeah.
Exactly. They can't.
I'm trying to think. Who is that always talks about them? Ancient Aliens talks about them, and it's not about, because I know in the past somebody was like, ancient aliens, they've been lying, they da. Everything puts truth and lie in it, in everything. You have to ultimately use your discernment, you know. That's why you have to study the universe and study everything, and not just rely on one source as is. You know what I'm saying? Never believe, but there are steps you can take to know, right? And we talk about that all the time. So I just say, keep studying the universe, keep studying yourself, learn about yourself, question why you are the way that you are. If there are some things that you know that you need to work on them, because that's what helps wake the next brother or sister up. It's not how good you can repeat it back, right? It's not how good you can regurgitate it. It's about how well you can embody it and pass it to the next generation and pass it to the next brother or sister. So the passion that you have, like I seen a sister earlier in the live, in the comments, she said, every one of my people that I see, I make sure to tell them the truth. That's light right there. You see what I'm saying? Electrons passing photons. So I value things like that. It's got to be more of that. I'm not saying you got to go live like me and Zell. I'm not saying that you got to do videos. You just need to focus on shining that light, though, because it's no way that when you focus on shining your light that you're going to even want to keep it contained, right? Exactly. So the way that you felt when you first woke up, or when you first came into the knowledge, another brother or sister got to feel that same epiphany, that same spark of light. That's why we, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we do it. I'm not just on here yapping just because science is cool to me. It's not about that. It's about
what we're connected to.
Yeah. Facts.
So yeah, we appreciate everybody coming in. Abundance to y'all for that.
So we just gotta make sure we move in more authenticity. You see what I'm saying? That we're authentic. Whenever we commune with each other, that it's authentic. right? That is from a place, the heart chakra, because everything that you do for your people has got to be through the heart chakra. If it's not, you can't transcend. You're not gaining consciousness. You see what I'm saying? The universe, the earth is forcing us to gain consciousness because that's what we need in order to be stable again. What makes us so-called stable as a planet or as a species is consciousness. All right. So I just wanted to say that make sure that you're doing it for you, that you're doing it for your people, that you're doing it for the universe. Right.
Yeah. How serious are you about life?
Right.
How serious are you about reality and making changes in your reality? Positive magnetic changes. That's what it is. Right. You gotta learn to be don't be selfish. You see what I'm saying? Especially with information of self. You can't be. You see what I'm saying? Like she said, you don't have to go live like we do, but just keep shining that light, shedding that light amongst all brothers and sisters you come across upon. You feel what I'm saying to you? That's it. So everybody that's in here, like, we just hope next time every time we see y'all, and you know what I'm saying, we just want y'all intellect to just keep evolving.
Yeah.
So we can get back to our people. You see what I'm saying? We need to be that great civilization that we keep reading about. See what I'm saying? We need to be that.
Facts. So who knows? We're fired up. We're about to go outside, and we was already outside. So yep. I'll probably come back today, but if I don't, I'll be back soon. You know what I'm saying? Let's make sure that when we see each other again, that we can build. Everybody that's in here, bring a new fact. Right. Everybody that's in here, you hear me say, bring a new fact. So when we get in the next live, I'm going to say, what's y'all facts? And the people that was in here, y'all going to know who I'm talking about. We going to have to start holding each other accountable.
Intellectually, facts.
Intellectually, that's how we grow for real. If you want to be around us, you got to be conscious. You see what I'm saying?
Critical
if you want to build with your
self-sufficient
people,
with the
if
mind.
you want to build with your people, if you want to build with the universe, you got to sharpen that consciousness, man. She not worried about the physical. She's worried about what you look like on the inside, because that's the real you, because you're not the body. You're the consciousness that operates the body, right? When we unalive, our soul, the neuromelanin, transcends to the next suit. You see what I'm saying? However we decide to facet ourselves, right? Consciousness, conscious expansion, however we choose, right?
That's your sovereignty, your choice.
Yep.
That's your freedom.
That's your freedom.
Your choice.
How you decide to morphogenic fields. How you decide to morph your energy into existence. How you decide to consciously expand is done through the way you talk, what you repost, how you go to the bathroom, that energy that you get up, you walk in. You see what I'm saying? Not that you went to the store, but the energy you had when you went there, right? Morphogenic field.
Yep. No matter how big or small your action is, it's a reflection, direct reflection of your mind. It's a direct reflection of your soul. Every action that you do, every thought that you have, is a direct reflection of what you're producing in your mind to your body. Understand that.
Facts.
That will make you be very careful, precise, and concise with the decisions and choices that you'll be making.
MJ said, is my brain stimulated? For sure. If you feel good throughout your whole entire nervous system, then yes, the brain is stimulated, and the whole central nervous system is stimulated. So you would feel it in the fingertips or in your feet, because there are neurons there. So yeah. So guess what, MJ? I just gave you homework. You got to study the nervous system. You said it, not me. All right. You said it, not me. And let me see. Would you let me said, yeah, this isn't playtime. Facts. I'm not. Yeah, me and Zell don't be playing with y'all.
Yeah, we're not.
We're not here. Y'all look.
We're already a cosmic family. Yeah. We're not here to look for friends. We're already a family. So if we're already a family, we need to understand genetically and biologically how we're a cosmic family, so we can help each other grow again and nurture each other and protect each other and thrive with each other again. That's it.
That's it. Like, literally, like that's it, yo. That's what the test was for, that we've been undergoing as a people, so I got like 1 peach left. I've down like 6 peaches in less than 24 hours. So I got 1 left that I've been holding on to. And I actually want to talk to y'all from my page. So I'll go live on my backup sometime soon. The lives, as far as us getting them posted and put it out, we're doing it a little bit different because it takes a lot of our energy to edit it the way that we said we were going to do. Like, yeah. So I'm going to update y'all soon. You see what I'm saying? But if you haven't listened to the past lives on YouTube, tap in. You know what I'm saying? It's linked on my main page, y'all. But gratitude and abundance, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all go outside.
She said the page is gone.
My page is gone? Okay, hold on.
Oh, she's asking, is it? Okay. No, it's not gone.
Oh, yeah, no.
She just has a backup page.
Yeah, because I'm banned. Because when I did the Dylan Roof, they don't like that. They've never liked it for the last few years. Anytime anybody posts it, it gets taken down. So I tried it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I have a backup page too because they want to take this account down too. If I get kicked out of here, like they gonna take this joint down because for like 4 years straight, they've been kicking me out of here, kicking me off, appealing, approving, unapproving, all of that. Like, so if they take this account down, you know what I'm saying?
We have backups. Yeah, I have one more strike on my page before they take my page. I don't know what that one strike is. I've been on that last strike for the last 2 years, but hey, if they take the page, they can have it. They can't take the consciousness. So I don't
exactly. What we really ready for is for these conversations to go outside. We all gotta. If we all outside, imagine so-called black people. I'm gonna just leave us with this. If we all just start talking about what we're talking about in here outside, imagine how quick the planet would change. Imagine how quick the atmosphere would change. Now you know how these phones hold us back. If we were all outside speaking this truth, it would change instantaneously.
Educator says she on her 3rd page. Like literally, they will take your whole page for saying the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So facts, y'all. I'll probably be back for sure.
We'll be back on